May 11th, 2015 Board of Education meeting. Can we have a roll call?
Roll call. Miriam Bazzi is absent.
Yeah, she is out of town for work.
Joseph Guido.
Here.
Mary Lane here. Roxanne McDonald.
Here.
Michael Mead.
Here.
Mary Petchlikoff.
Here.
President Scholas.
Here. Next item.
Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Dr. Joshua Tynan, principal of Howe School, which is no longer Howe, really, will introduce Howe program. Will introduce students who will lead the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, I have Gabe Berganis with me, and I have Adam Farhat, and they're going to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you two students could step forward.
Those guys took a breath together and got it all revved up.
Come right up to the front. Yep.
Yeah, they are. Syncopated.
Thank you so much. Good job.
Nice job, fellas.
Thank you.
Thank you, President, Superintendent, Board.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Josh?
Ready for superintendent's update?
Yep.
Certainly.
Agenda items.
2 on agenda items. Number 1, we have several retirements tonight, including Kathy Peck, Bryant science teacher of 25 years, Clark Plasters, Stout Phys Ed, 28 and a half years, Jane Allen, Bryant science teacher, just shy of 20, Connie Bodway, a Woodworth computer teacher, 29 years, Patricia Henry, River Oaks teacher, 27 years, Josephine Cadato from bilingual department, just shy of 20 years, Eugene Kovacs, Cotter Miller engineer, 38, almost 39 years, Kathleen Sawyers, Howard Elementary, 20 and a half years, Lisa Taylor, special ed, 23, almost 24 years, and Julie Weingartner, Etzel Ford math teacher, 20 and a half years, plus many others with less than that 20 years seniority, but congratulations to all of those. Secondly, as part of the agenda tonight, there is a rule by state law that we have to approve the budget for Wayne Risa. I would say that the superintendents and the school business officials have gone over the budgets in detail. Their general fund budget is $16.3 million. The PA-18 special ed funding is just shy of $145 million. We did provide the board a Q&A document plus the budget details. It's very strange that we're approving somebody else's budget when we go through this process, but it's just one of those things that's required by law. And I have nothing on non-action items.
So you're ready to
Next item.
ready to have citizen participation.
Absolutely.
Citizens wishing to address the board on agenda and non-agenda items for action who are signed in by 7:10 p.m. by submitting a blue card to the secretary may speak at this time. The board may not be in a position to respond to non-agenda items, therefore speakers should not anticipate an immediate response to their comments or questions. For the benefit of all concerned, do not mention the names of students or school district employees. Please keep your comments as brief as possible. The board president reserves the right to limit times. There is one blue card tonight from Mrs. Paula Nedzinskas, who wishes to speak to the board, who is from Dearborn, wishes to speak to the board about classroom sizes in the first and second grade levels at Whitmore Bowles.
Yes. I have 2 children at Whitmore Bowles, and one is a second grader this year. And in kindergarten 2 years ago, there was quite a disruption at Whitmore Bowles when all of the about 7 classrooms got rearranged by because 2 kindergarten classes were at like 27 students in each classroom. Last year was great. We had a great teacher. We've had great teachers all through. But this year, the second grade class has a 29 student classroom and then 2 split classes. And I just wanted to make sure that there was special attention paid to Whitmore Bowles. We had 2 teachers retire last year and only one was replaced because of the total amount of students at the school. But I'm very concerned that I've seen my daughter over the last year kind of really not care about school as much as she did in the prior 2 years. And I know classroom size is a huge, huge reason for that. And 29 second graders is too many. And there's 29 first graders coming up. And I just want to make sure that that is kind of looked at by the whole school system. I don't know where to go. I've talked with the principal and I've talked with the teachers, and I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of the situation.
And I'll be happy
at
to
Whitmore
schedule a
Balls.
meeting with you.
Thank you.
Trustee Lang.
Oh, not to you, but I also got a citizen inquiry on Whitmore, how things are, so I would like to ask Superintendent Whiston to update us on how the situation is generally
Or
there.
at least give us an idea of how we plan on, I know that some things can't happen until student counts are finalized, and, you know, that doesn't happen until we get closer to the
Yep.
beginning of the school year.
But we
maybe
can give you
could-
our projections.
Yeah, or at least let us know, you know, Plan A and Plan B.
And an
so that-
update on Whitmore in
Yep.
general. Yep.
Absolutely.
And I am here representing probably about 15 or 20 parents from the second grade at Whitmore Bowles that just weren't here, but we have a couple here.
Thank you.
So, just thank you
We
for putting
appreciate
that
that.
out in the view of you.
And I'll get back to you. Thank you.
Next item.
Another card just came in from Corrine Plawicki, who wishes to speak to the board representing herself, wishes to speak to the board about lack of oversight over ineffective teachers and lack of communication.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for your time. I too am a parent of a child at Whitmore Bowles, and she's been there now for 3 years. For the last couple of years that we've been there, just like the person that was here before me, we found it to be a very good place for her to be. Unfortunately, this year, as a second grader, we've experienced the same issues. What we find to be very ineffective classroom management. My child does not want to go to school, and that's a problem. When asked for support and communication, we are not receiving that. So I'm here before you to ask for help so that we can get the communication and support that we need to get our children to excel. We're here to support our children, we're here to support the teachers, but we need that communication and to know that the teachers that are not working effectively, what's being done to address that. And if there's any way that we can assist, what can we do? So that's what I'm here to
Again,
ask.
I'd be happy to meet with you, and we'll have those conversations.
Maybe that
Appreciate
would be a
it.
good
Well,
idea,
that's,
to schedule a group meeting
Yep.
to
But
make sure their
that also may
concerns
be
are
an
addressed.
administrative issue, so I know I did talk to Superintendent Whiston, so I'd like a broader
Yep, I understand.
update. Thank
Yep.
you.
But please be patient and understand that, you know, when it comes to our staff, we can hear comments, but we may not be able to give you as much information as you want. But it doesn't mean that we aren't looking into things. Next item.
Approval of minutes, approval of the following Dearborn Board of Education meetings. Regular P12 meeting, April 13th, 2015, Board Report 14123. Special meeting, open study session, April 22nd, 2015, Board Report 14124. Recommended action, make any necessary corrections and move approval of these minutes.
So moved.
Support.
Was that a motion?
That was a big motion.
I tried to get away from the microphone because I figured that wouldn't have been pleasant. Is there any discussion or corrections? Any dissension? Hearing none, please attach unanimous affirmative vote. Next item.
Commendations. Oh,
He's coming up.
we have a reader coming from Fordson High School, Mohammed Maza.
Yes.
Great.
You're doing good today, Mary.
Okay, district. Commendations to school board member Roxanne McDonald, who has earned an award of distinction from the Michigan Association of School Boards. This designation acknowledges Ms. McDonald's dedication to effectively serve the residents of Dearborn by completing a series of school board leadership development courses. Commendations to Fortson senior Ahmad Beydoun and Bryant 7th grader Spencer DeCut, who participated this year in the Dearborn Area Chamber Young Entrepreneurs Academy, also known as YEA. Ahmad and Spencer were among the 13 student entrepreneurs who presented their unique and innovative business plans before a panel of local leaders of industry and a public audience in April. Congratulations to Ahmad on winning first place and a $1,116 award to help develop his business concept, Big Time Graphics, and a $500 shopping spree at Sam's Club. Ahmad will advance to the YEA Saunders Scholarship Scholars Regional Competition in New York, where he will present his business plan. Congratulations to Spencer Dicka on the $750 award he received for his project Eagle Run Products. Congratulations to high school seniors Lama Ahmad from Etzel Ford, Rodney Dykes from Fortson, and Grace Sakudas from Dearborn High, who each received the Marge Powell Leadership Award from the American Association of University Women Dearborn branch. The students were recognized for demonstrating leadership potential, integrity, and commitment to community service. Whitmore Bowles Elementary. The district extends a note of thanks to the Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs and the Michigan Humanities Council for providing financial support for special positive learning experiences for students at Whitmore Bowles Elementary. The organizations donated a total of $926 to fund 3 assemblies from Sheer Genius for math, reading, and science, and 1 writing assembly from Brainstormers Skywriter Show. Gear Park Elementary. Commendations to Gear Park 4th grader student Lewis Jones, who won the Kroger I Can Make History Black History Month art contest for 4th to 6th grade students. Lewis's winning entry was cartoon artwork and a short essay he wrote to honor African-American cartoonist Robert S. Pius. Lewis received his iPad prize at an April awards dinner he attended with his family at the Henry Ford Museum. Miller Elementary. Commendations to students at Miller Elementary who raised over $2,350 for the American Heart Association and this year's Jump Rope for Heart Drive. Students from kindergarten through 5th grade had a blast as they made this year's event the most successful jump rope for heart ever held by the school. The day concluded with an event where over 60 students who raised at least $5 each stayed after school to jump rope for an hour. William Ford Elementary. Congratulations to the 85 William Ford students who jumped their way to raising a grand total of $2,200 for the American Heart Association. This is the most money the school has ever raised in the Jump Rope for Heart event. The school expressed their appreciation to Miss Marilyn Kadrine, Ali and Lama Harris, Miss Lower, and Miss Yazbek, who were a terrific help in making the event successful and fun day for the students. Fortson High School. Congratulations to Fortson Junior Fatima Crew for successfully auditioning in the prestigious M-Pulse Summer Performing Art Institute at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. Fatima is one of only 200 singers from around the country and the world to be selected for this honor. This honor is based on the merits of her singing and overall musicianship. Commendations to students from Fortson's Peer-to-Peer Club who recently presented a $1,000 check to First Steps. Students raised the money by holding a prom fashion show in December. The funds donated by Fortson will go toward completion of a playground at the First Step Shelter in Wayne, Michigan. The playground will be a special place that will provide children a safe place to play and have fun, something many have not been able to do for a long time. Dearborn High School. Congratulations to senior Amanda Greathouse from Dearborn High School on receiving a $5,000 scholarship from the Community Choice Foundation. Community Choice Credit Union awards qualifying students from Macomb, Oakland, and Wayne counties. Commendations to Thalif Ganem, a junior at Dearborn High in the Total Communication Program for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, on becoming the first student ever from the Dearborn Public Schools to compete at the National Health Occupation Student Association competition. She will represent the Michael Berry Career Center at the competition in Anaheim, California. Thalif qualified to compete in the National HOSA competition after winning 2nd place among 2,300 competitors in the state competition in April. She was the only deaf student to compete at the state level. Thank you, guys.
Well done.
Excellent.
Thank you for being here.
Is our reader graduating this year, Mohammed? Oh, so we should give you some congratulations too, commendations. And I think our cameramen are tonight, at least one. Both?
Both of us, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe you could show
Your
like,
faces.
each other on TV.
You have to show each other.
And Mohammed too, yeah, there they are. Yeah, thank you.
I have to change it.
Congratulations.
How do you like it? Excellent. Next item.
Metro Bureau Scholarship.
I think I see somebody in the audience here that some of you may remember, a former HR director of the district, is here to present the Metro Bureau Scholarship to a student.
Thank you. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's nice to see you again. My name is Doug Priddy, and I am the Associate Executive Director of the Metropolitan Detroit Bureau of School Studies, and I'm here tonight to award a $1,000 scholarship to one of your outstanding seniors. This year, 34 students from the Metropolitan Detroit region, representing 18 different high schools, applied for Metro Bureau scholarships. The applications were reviewed by a committee of school superintendents and curriculum directors and were judged on their academic merit, career choices, and their vision of how they will use their education to benefit others. At this time, I would like to invite to the podium Ali Alomeri from Dearborn High School. Ali, would you join me, please? Ali is one of 15 successful scholarship applicants, and he will receive a check for $1,000. These scholarships are given in the memory of our Executive Director Emeritus, Dr. Thomas D. McLennan, who served as the Bureau's Executive Director for 24 years. Dr. McLennan grew up in Southwest Detroit. He attended Wayne State University, where he received his bachelor's degree, his master's degree, and his doctoral degrees in education. And then in his spare time, he went back and got his law degree at the Wayne State Law School. So education, as you recall, was very important to Dr. McLennan, and he experienced firsthand what a good education could do for a child of a working class family. Dr. McLennan, as you all know, began his teaching career right here in Dearborn and eventually became the district superintendent. During his tenure at the Metro Bureau, Dr. McLennan started this scholarship fund to support students pursuing education at a local university in a field within the human services area. He encouraged educators and students and also businesses that work with our schools to donate money to our scholarship fund. So tonight it gives me great pleasure to award Ali with a certificate and, more importantly for him, a check. So Ali, first of all, let me show you that we have a nice certificate suitable for framing. So we'd like to give you that on behalf of the Metro Bureau.
Thank you.
And then here's a check for $1,000. And last but not least, an official Metro Bureau pen to use on your studies. So Ali will be attending Wayne State University this fall. So congratulations and best of luck at Wayne State.
Go Warriors.
You're welcome.
Congratulations. Thanks, Doug.
Thank you very much, board members.
Thank you, Doug.
Ali, you'll have to collect a few more of those checks. So.
Yeah. But everyone helps.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's great about this time of the year.
Yeah, it is.
You know, as busy as we are, it's so great to
Such good news.
Celebrate the successes of our students, and scholarships are so incredible and so useful. So, next item.
Acknowledgement of donations.
2, a donation of 5 children's bikes valued at $250 has been offered to Snow Elementary School by Miss Mary Lane to be given to students needing of bikes. So we thank Board Member Mary Lane for that. A donation of science books for professional development and teaching best practices for science and math valued at $600 has been offered to our schools by Mr. Herm Bolton to be used by the district science department. We thank him for that donation.
What a great idea. I never thought about donating bikes.
Yeah,
They
get
love
them out
it.
of your garage and into the sidewalks of
See, I think
Dearborn.
it's important that everybody knows that, you know, even something that you don't think is that big of a deal to
Yeah, for a kid who
always
doesn't
see
have a
if our
bike.
schools need the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So when everybody's doing their spring cleaning.
and that is what Dr. Groover said. When I asked her about it, she said, this is going to make some kids happy. So, yeah,
Well, it's a
there's
great
lots
idea.
of kids that.
Good job. Next item.
No other.
Other. Okay, so we're then to special reports. 6th, 7th STEM School, Mr. Brian Whiston, Dr. Gail Schenkman, Ms. Julia McConaughey.
And we're going to turn it over to Julie and her team.
Good evening. I would like to invite I'm going to start with ACE, if you don't mind. May I go off?
Yep, that's
Certainly.
fine.
Agenda.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just the way we planned our presentation. So I could wing it, but anyway, I'd like to thank you very much, Superintendent and the Board of Education, for giving us an opportunity to update you this evening. And we'd like to start our presentation off with a short video clip, please. That's the wrong one. Should have started with STEM, because that's the STEM one.
Well,
See, you threw everybody off. John.
Dawn's going to tell her.
Yeah. Thank you, Don.
Okay, you're going to have to sing and dance.
I can do that. Be careful what you ask. I won't be good,
But entertaining.
okay.
Last fall, when they told me I was gonna come to the ACE program, I didn't want to. I had doubts, but then when I came here, I started actually being more successful than I ever was.
What I thought about ACE when I first came here, I thought it was gonna be like different, it's gonna be like the rest of the schools and stuff like that. But when I got like into the school and stuff, I started like getting better grades, 3.0s, like I calmed down a lot. Like I used to be terrible last year, but this school, it seems to like change me a lot.
There's less students, so the teachers could get to all of us. And the teachers help us any way they can. They don't give up on us at all. It's a small program, so everybody is going to get to know everybody. And the social is just like we're all messing around, but yet it's the playfulness.
ACE has helped me with learning how to do different strategies for different kinds of work and like dealing with people.
Like learn that don't give up, stay positive, try to make like good decisions, try to become a success. You know, it's okay to have challenges and that you can get through them. When I get in trouble, they like pull me to the side, they help me get back on my feet. I'll fall off, but when I like get around like positive people, I'll get back on.
Nice video.
We can thank our creative and talented Joshua Maddie sitting right there for putting that together for us. We really appreciate him. And Dr. D'Souza had a lot to do with it too. She's sitting right next to him. But I've always been proud to work as an educator in Dearborn. The past 25 years have been rewarding, and this is probably my most rewarding experience. Dearborn is not afraid to take risks on the behalf of our students. That's one of the things I really, really love about working here, because you have always said the impossible is possible. When other people think it's not, we say, yes, we can, and then ACE was born. For those of you who don't know, it's a bridge between middle school and high school. The students are taking high school courses. They are all passing their high school courses. The chart that is untitled in front of you, the mystery chart, each page is a marking period, blue comparing last year's GPA to the red comparing this year's GPA. So that first page is the first 6 weeks of school, comparing the first 6 weeks of last year, the first 6 weeks of this. Second page is the second 6 weeks, all the way through the fourth marking period is the data we had. So, I mean, your investment is shown here.
I think it's your investment.
Well, it really.
We just get to take
it gives
the
me
credit
goosebumps.
for it.
I have goosebumps when we look at that.
This is definitely your investment.
Yeah. So, they're all performing community service. We visit the Salvation Army. We've made blankets for the foster kids. We've sent Christmas cards to orphanages. They are not only serving their community, but they're really shining. And I'd like to introduce you to two of the ACE teachers, Mrs. Frizel and Mrs. Bissonette. Just a short little comment.
Well, this is my first year, obviously, in the ACE program. I come from Woodworth Middle School. And one of the reasons why I wanted to come to this program is I've seen so many people, so many kids struggle in our classes, and just wanted to give them more of the attention, was unable to. And as one of the students said in the video, we get that chance to individually meet their needs. And I'm not going to say it hasn't been a struggle. It's been a struggle for ourselves as teachers to learn how to meet their needs in different ways. And it's been a struggle for our students who are so used to shutting off so quickly. But it's a joy to see that light bulb go on. It's a joy to see them discovering that they can do it if they put that effort through. 2 students behind me who will have an opportunity to speak are outstanding examples of growth within a program. One of the students behind me wouldn't even write a sentence in the first week, and now they're writing 5 paragraphs and more and doing it well. So it's a great pleasure to have the opportunity to teach them every day.
So this is Mike Adams, and I was really excited to invite him to just say a couple words. I know he's very nervous, but I wanted him to share with you the impact that this program has had on him, you know, maybe comparing last year to this year. So.
Well, I mean, last year, I really didn't care about school. And now that I go to ACE, I'm happy to get up every morning and just go to school. I mean, I'm excited for school now.
Very good.
It's changed me a lot, and it changed me in a positive way.
Very
good. You should be very proud.
And this is Nimar Beydoun, and he also wanted to share something with you.
Last year around this time, I thought to myself, I'm graduating from middle school. Who cares about school? And now I'm very motivated to come to school every day, get a better education. My maturity level has gone to the max in a positive way, and as well as my academics, such as skills like reading and writing, and like my teachers and my principal and mechanic have helped me in a very positive way. And I'm glad. At first, in the beginning of the school year, I thought to myself, I don't belong in this program, and now I actually love that I got the opportunity to come to the ACE program to help me in many ways.
Thanks. So all 27 of them could come up here and give you similar stories. It's really, really exciting. We had one other student who was supposed to come, and I don't know if I gave bad directions or something came up, but Anthony and his mother were supposed to be here. His mother, she called us, and we tried to record her testimony because we wanted it as part of our video, but the recording wasn't quite right. But she is a grateful parent. A lot of our parents came to parent-teacher conferences for the first time, well, scared to come because they weren't sure what they were going to hear, and left crying because it was one of the few times they came to school and experienced something positive said about their kids, and 8 teachers were sitting around a table saying, you know, negative things about their children. They were doing well in their academics. They were doing well in their social skills. And so I'm going to testify on behalf of Anthony's mom and just tell you the parents are really, really happy you provided them this opportunity. So in closing for the ACE program, I'd like to show the Tony Tuesday video.
Well, before you close, though,
yeah,
because you alluded a little bit in the beginning, but just for the parents that don't know that this option is out here, can you explain a little bit more? Because this is a transition program, too.
That's correct.
Correct. And
That's
so
correct.
if you could just elaborate a little bit more,
Sure.
because, you know, we have a lot of viewers at home, and sometimes parents feel that a student needs something more necessarily than maybe their homeschool teacher would be. So how do students get into the program?
Right.
You know, if there's a parent out there that is concerned or think this might be a good program for them, how do they make this happen?
Well, last year being our first year, no one really wanted to come.
Right.
But it was kids who had struggled in middle school who we felt would fall through the cracks in high school. So we wanted to give them this place, this safe cushion, if you will. There's only 30 students, so there's about 15-to-1 ratio for teachers to student. They come, they'll spend their 2 years with me taking high school courses, earning high school credits, and we will send them off to their home high schools as juniors. Whereas we felt part of the prepared to be successful juniors and graduate on time. That was our whole thing, that they would graduate with their peers. Not 5 years, but in 4 years they would graduate with their peers, and that's kind of was our hook. And these guys have earned their credits. We are considering second semester next year, part of our transition, but also because they're ready to maybe take afternoon classes at their home high school a little bit earlier than we thought. So that's really exciting too.
That actually might be a really nice transition too.
Exactly.
You know,
So
to test the waters.
If the parents are interested in something like this for their children, contact the or your middle school principals. They're the ones compiling the list, and they're doing it now. And then I go in and I meet with every single family from all 7 high schools that's been recommended, tell them about the opportunity and what we can do for their kids, and invite them to join us. So, yeah.
Trustee Lane.
I'd just like to ask the 2 gentlemen, are you planning on graduating?
For sure.
What year are you guys going to graduate?
Obviously in 2018, in my opinion.
Okay.
Love it.
Both of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. I hope we'll be there at your graduation.
It's what we talk about all the time.
Does that mean you're college bound?
Is that your affirmation?
Yeah. Good. We hope so.
Trustee Pelichkov.
I just have kind of a practical question. Since clearly they were coming in with a lot of deficits with their learning environment, and you've managed to, and you're saying you're teaching them the I'm assuming equivalent high school courses.
Yeah.
How do you bridge that gap because of the remediation that may be necessary for a lot of the students who may be so behind because of the lack of quality education that they had prior to this in their studying?
I will let the experts answer that question.
I know they're buzzwords, but differentiation and scaffolding along the way is huge. A lot more hands-on, a lot more. We can actually go a little slower to go faster in the end. I have to say class size makes a huge difference with that. You know, with 15 kids in that classroom, we're able to get to each and every one of their needs. Plus with the flexible scheduling in such a small program, at the end of the day, if I need to pull a student who's been absent or for one-on-one work, that really helps. You know, a lot of these students may have come with deficits, but a lot of it was due to behavior in the middle school. And so when we've taken some of those problems out and we give them that chance to be listened to, we do things like the Tony Tuesday, which you'll see a video on, and build those leadership skills and that strength within themselves. Some of those deficits, you know, fix themselves. You know, there are still some students that are going to struggle with reading and writing, but we're at least going to give them the skills to not give up and to push through.
You might have heard in the video, one of our female students, Mercedes, was saying that we teach the students strategies that will help them get through the reading passages, whether it's at grade level or not. We have an intervention class at the end of the day, so the students have had 6 weeks of math intervention, 6 weeks of reading, 6 weeks of math, and we put them in there based on their NWA scores, any scores that we had, any data that we had. So it's a lot of formative assessment, getting to know what the student needs, and then how do we get them there. So we use a lot of scaffolding. The SIOP, language and literacy stuff is great, and we work as a team. So the students know that, and
so the students aren't changing teachers for each subject like they would in a traditional high school setting?
Yeah,
they are.
They have science, social studies, teacher, language arts, and math, and these guys just happen to be their intervention. That intervention is built in the day.
Okay.
It's not an extra add-on. So that's part of our day. They do an every other day electives for us to accomplish that. But it's a lot of extra work on the teacher's part to truly, talk about a My Learning Plan.
Yeah.
These kids are living it. They really are living that idea.
Well, and sometimes students are deficient in one small area of a subject, and in our traditional setting, that means they go back an entire year when really they might just need a refresher on a specific area.
Right.
So having the ability to assess each individual student for what they're deficient in, I'm sure is time-consuming and difficult, but worth it in the end.
Worth it.
Trustee Lane?
Yeah, you just said something that I'm sure the folks from Whitmore Bowles are nodding their head about, and classroom size matters. That we've had difficulty showing that research-wise, but I know, having had my kids in different size classes, I personally am convinced absolutely that it does matter. And I would like to say, we just had the failure of Prop 1 on the roads, and people were very angry for a lot of reasons about that complicated proposal. But in education, that's where we spend money, is on when we have money, we have small class size, and it matters to a lot of kids. So, you know, people can talk, politicians can huff and puff as much as they want, but it's all, a lot of it for a lot of kids is about class size. And that's why education is expensive.
Mm-hmm. Trustee McDonald?
I just want to commend the program, what great things are happening there. But I noticed in the video that it looked like they were doing a lot of team building and kind of getting comfortable with working with other people. Is that done, how often is that done?
We call it Tony Tuesdays because Tony comes on Tuesdays. He's a University of Michigan psychologist and also a practicing clinical psychologist.
So I jumped to your next part of the presentation.
So it's a nice segue.
And that video is going to show you what he does, but that's another big thank you to all of you because you approved us bringing him in from Ann Arbor. His contract says every other week, but that guy can't stay away from us.
Yeah.
He loves us. He comes more than he comes every week if he can, and he's made a big difference, which you're going to see in the video. A lot of the same clips, but he speaks, he has a voiceover, he can explain more to you, because he couldn't be here tonight. But
thank you. Well, you guys are doing a great job, and you can tell your passion in the way that you speak of the program, and I think that helps give the students confidence. So, you know, kudos to you guys. We just sit on this side of the table and approve, you know, an expenditure, but you guys are the ones who do the real work.
Thank you.
Well, and congratulations to the students also.
Yes,
I'm so
they're working
glad
really hard.
that you turned your attitude around because we need all of you guys.
Isn't this great to see? I mean, you guys must be so incredibly proud of yourselves.
Good.
Okay, we'll roll Tony Tuesdays. Here, you guys can have a copy. How about that?
First goal was to create a brave and safe space where the students and staff could learn optimally. In this space, we hope to have fun together, to build connections with each other, practice to effectively communicate our ideas and thoughts with each other, solve problems individually and collectively, challenge ourselves as much as we felt safe to do, and resolve conflicts that arose in a peaceful and respectful manner. Through these efforts, we hoped to experience a sense of belonging. We also hoped to develop trust in each other, and through all of this, feel empowered to make decisions for ourselves that move us towards goals and dreams, as well as support others in making decisions that move them forward towards their dreams and wishes.
The Tony Tuesday activities, any lessons that you have taken away from those activities?
To not start to take my anger
out on
somebody else, or talk back to the teacher, and not to start fighting with other kids in the classroom.
That everything isn't always a competition. Like, instead of putting people down, you can help pick them up. And you gotta listen to others, because you need people to help you in life to succeed.
Tony Tuesdays, I learned to be calm with other kids in the classroom, not to start fights. And like in my other school, I used to be an instigator in the other school, but this year, everyone's closer to like family.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And another production by Mr. Joshua Manning. He's very talented.
Excellent job.
So now I'd like to turn the page to the STEM school that is also new this year. And I'd like to introduce you to one of our students, their mom, Sydney, and also to Hussein and his mom came along to. I think it's better if you hear the testimonies of the people who are being impacted by the schools that we're running. And so I'd like to share just a couple lessons learned and things that we're going to do differently next year, and then I'd like them to, tell you what they feel. This year we had 2 teachers who each taught 2 subjects, and that was tough because the kids really, they weren't that exchanging classes like middle school, and that's something that's going to change next year. Next year we are going to have a common planning time with all 4 teachers so they can really integrate the STEM concepts into science, language, arts, social studies, and math. Right now we have a Project Lead the Way class that Mrs. Gleason teaches. She's going to say a couple words about that. But we're going to work as a team to really, deepen those understandings. We're also going to each month present at the PTA, so we get more connected with our parents and let them know what's going on and what's going on in the class and what kind of project-based learning we're doing. And we're going to invite parents to do walkthroughs. We really got a sense this year that parents didn't always feel like they knew what was going on in the school, and so parents are going to be invited to walk through the classrooms and experience what their students are experiencing. And we might have gotten a little bit of money from the Ford Motor Company so we could strengthen we don't really have a science lab right now, but that will help us build up that science, real science lab. We make do and we do okay, but it'll be nice if we had some of that equipment. I'd like to start with Mrs. Gleason. You want to just talk a little bit about what is Project Lead the Way?
Okay. Well, first, I just want to thank you for allowing me to be part of the district. This is my first year here, and it has been an amazing experience working with the STEM students, and I was actually fortunate enough to work with the ACE program as well, so it's been a really exciting year. Project Lead the Way is a industry-based program. There are 12 different modules. This year I integrated 2 modules, computer-aided design and biomedical sciences, and the students really excelled. I was able to have a very student-centered classroom where the learning was authentic and the experiences were individual to the students. I could elaborate on all of the amazing things that we did, but we do have students and parents here that will share that with you. Any questions?
I was asked if I felt challenged to extend my thinking in complex ways here at STEM. So I actually was challenged, and in Project Lead the Way we use computer technology and engineering, and this is something new I am learning. We are also using technology in language arts and geography by creating presentations and doing different projects. Science class also includes creating things that are scientific. I also enjoy how our teachers are teaching us. The Project Lead the Way class is the best class because we do hands-on things. We also get to create real-life things on Autodesk and print them as 3D. We use collaboration, innovation, problem-solving, and communication. It is really fun and enjoyable. I am looking forward to dissecting a sheep's brain.
And what grade are you in this year? What grade are you in this year?
6.
6.
Sydney, you want to?
So I was also asked to tell more about my Project Lead the Way class. Project Lead the Way is my favorite class. It ties in all the 21st century thinking skills and science, technology, engineering, and math, of course. We have done, like he said, a computer-aided design unit and a medical detectives unit. It's been a lot of fun. We've been able to use advanced programs, Autodesk Inventor and Mesh Mixer, to create models and then 3D print them to solve real-world problems. In our medical detectives unit, we have learned about all parts of the body and diseases and a lot of medical stuff. And this is a very interesting class. It is my favorite class.
And what grade are you in, dear?
Mrs. Isa?
I'm very happy to have my son at STEM. Being the first year, I know it was challenging for not just our students, for our parents and teachers and administrative staff. Students are learning to deal with real-life situations. They're confronting real-life problems. I experienced that personally with my son. He's learning a lot of things. He's being exposed to many different fields out there, just like you said, biomedical science was one of them, technology, new things with technology. This has been an eye-opener for many, especially for my son. He's actually thinking about all the different fields out there and asking about them and researching about them. Project Lead the Way, as you heard again, is our best class. It's an awesome class. They're doing daily presentations, wide variety of different assignments, new technology, so every week it's something different. They're learning something different. You can even see, the cool thing is you can even see the collaboration with classes like geography and art class too. So it's great. Thank you.
So Mrs. McConaughey talked about, as a district, how impressive it is. I remember when I was teaching at O.L. Smith and we would recruit 8th graders for GCMST and for the early college when it started, and I would think that my 8th grade self, I couldn't have known that I should, I was so impressed with kids and amazed that they had that wherewithal in 8th grade. Well, in Dearborn, if you build it, they will come. Last year you asked 5th graders, and I really didn't push my daughter into this, honestly. And they saw, they knew from their elementary schools that they were interested in math and science. It was their favorite class. And it's just kind of morphed into this wonderful thing. It was so cool to see kids from 21 elementaries that are headed to 7, would have been headed to 7 different middle schools, because I see that in high school there'll be a bridge. And Shannon talks about that we can't have crosstown rivalries between our 3 comprehensive high schools. We have to collaborate in these times in public education, and I just see this. It is a small setting for them now, but think about the potential when they return to their high schools. And there's so many options, like the Collegiate Academy, the DCM, there's all kinds of things, and they're really honing in to be interested in the science and math careers. It's been a nice transition. You offer things like Camp Innovation in the summer. I think that really helps kids know that they're interested in the Project Lead the Way and things like that. And also, now the Henry Ford College is doing a Camp Henry that many of the students at STEM are interested in. So they'll be able to do some things in the summer to kind of extend.
So before I show our STEM video, do you have questions that you'd like to ask any of us?
Well, I just want to say that I think that all of us have experienced traditional education, and when we talk about programs like this, it's difficult for parents to get past what they know as traditional education and the paths that students take. You go to 7th grade, you go to 8th grade, then you go to high school, you're a freshman, you're a sophomore, and I think it's incredibly powerful hearing from other parents, and it might be something that we need to use as a recruiting tool, is to have those parents break down those boundaries and let the other parents know from their perspective what it's done for their children. I mean, because obviously when you see these 2 parents here today, that it's done wonders, and we have so many unique little niche programs that we need to get the word out there. So I'm really happy that you're presenting to us today and showing us these 2 starkly different but very unique programs that address the individual needs of students, and I think it's really important. So I applaud you for coming forward, and thank you for coming and speaking to the other parents that are in the audience at home that are watching this, and especially from the students, because we like hearing from them. Yeah. Trustee Pelichkov?
Well, and the other thing I'm sitting here thinking when I'm hearing, and I know these are 2 new programs, but really the concepts that are being employed at either end of the spectrum here in these classrooms are something that I have always envisioned as being practical if we could expand upon in all of our school buildings in some form or fashion. That, dealing with students who learn differently and have a variety of ways of exposing our students to all these educational opportunities should be something that I love that we're experimenting in one building with this, but I would love to be able to see this start to expand and grow and trickle into our mainstream education, and something that we can share along the way with all the classrooms, so that every student has an opportunity to explore these kinds of educational experiences.
And really, that's where we're heading as a
Yeah.
district through My Learning Plan
Yeah.
and options for parents. I mean, it's the heart of what we're trying to do, is what you just said, which is really to let students and parents design the educational system through My Learning Plan, but still to provide different options to people. But really, we want it to be student and parent driven, so.
No, it was always the vision of the 21st century learning experience, I think, that we've
Yep.
always shared. Trustee Dr.
I don't know if this is a
Mead.
good time to ask the question, but what's the difference between STEAM and STEM?
Art.
Art.
Okay,
As science,
is it
technology,
Salida? Is it
engineering,
Salina has-
arts, and math.
So
Salina
Salina
has
program has the arts
the
involved.
STEAM.
Right.
Maybe
Your
some-
program is STEM.
Yeah, maybe
Correct.
we'll become STEAM, I don't know.
We love the
have
arts and music, so we want to have that everywhere.
Oh, yeah, we have music. Yeah, the kids have music and gym and art. Yeah.
So it's STEM.
Some.
But that's the only difference, is
Okay. Yeah.
in how you infuse art into the program.
But I do believe the word is out. We had 212 applications for the incoming 60 spots.
Wow,
So,
that's excellent.
Yeah, the community, the word gets, I mean, word of mouth, you know, Dearborn is, we learn lots
It's
of
a very
things.
small, large community.
Yeah, and whereas last year for ACE, I was convincing and really trying to convince parents and students what a great opportunity this is. Like, can you imagine a 15-to-1 high school class? And now this year, people are asking to come. So, you know, I knew it wouldn't take long for, you know, the word to get out, so.
I just have one concern with
Yes.
the STEM,
Mhm.
and that is I drive one of the girls to the STEM class 3 days a week.
Okay.
And I'm a little concerned about the parking lot and the fact that the children are running in between cars to get into their cars to go home. Has there been any concern about that, or is that just me?
Well, we do have a security guard out there directing traffic. We really need, and it's in the works, we had so much to do at that campus to get up and rolling. One of the things that still needs to be done is the lines need to be painted.
Okay.
You know, the traffic.
Yeah, we need some
We're working on
patterns.
it.
Yeah.
We do, yes, we
With the
recognize
guard
that.
out there, the guard frequently is not there.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it isn't unique to
Every
this
one of
program. I
our
mean,
schools.
if
Any
you,
school.
Yeah, we
if you hang
have-
out at
Oh,
my
that
kid's
happen
elementary
everywhere?
school.
Traffic committee.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need
We-
some blowhorns and.
Okay.
No, we need parents getting bikes and letting their kids walk and ride their bikes.
Well,
is
but
what
you know
we
what?
need.
Some of our schools, that's a scary prospect, because I walk my son to school.
No, I
You know, the
appreciate
parents
it.
that
And-
drive their kids
and we
to
do have
school are
8
quite
different
scary to me.
schools in that one campus, so how, and Montessori and STEM, that's their drop-off, and then the other places around the building have their,
Okay.
but we'll get on the paint, I think painting of the lines and
That might help.
and making sure that guy's out there every day, yes. Ready to watch
All
a
right,
video?
yes, let's watch a video, please.
Let's watch
Good job,
the
though.
STEM video,
Bravo to
please.
you guys. A great program.
I thought of STEM as a place where I am challenged, and I was not surprised that it was a very good school. This school is different from others because of the interesting project-based learning.
It ties in the 21st century thinking skills, engineering, science, math, technology, and much more. So far, we have had a big computer-aided design unit and started on a medical detecting unit. STEM students have learned about diseases and how the body works.
The school is very different. The students here get along and work together to complete the problem. Most other schools don't do that. The problems we work on are challenging that can really boost our learning. Beginning of the year, I didn't know anyone but my best friend Eric. Now everybody is my friend. I feel much more comfortable.
In the beginning, I thought I was really scared because I thought it was really hard. But now it's a nice school. I think it's a nice school and it's a friendly environment. I was not happy about losing my elementary school friend. But then when I came into STEM, I found a lot of new friends. And I'm happy now.
This one won, and we have T-shirts and everything. So, thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I think that's the only time I've ever longed to go back to middle school.
Yeah, I know. It does sound like fun.
I'm not sure I'm going to go that far.
Maybe just for a visit.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Wonderful. Next item.
Special consideration of an action item. Are there any agenda items on this agenda which board members of the superintendent wish to discuss and vote on separately? If there are, we will exclude these from the motion below. The superintendent asked to poll number 7.
Yes.
I don't want number 3 pulled, but I have a question.
In 19, you have to insert a name. So I don't know if you want to pull it or...
We could put it as part of the consent agenda and then just add the name.
Okay.
Unless we want to do it separately. Let's pull it.
Which number, 19?
Number 19.
It's okay.
So we have a choice of one.
One, yeah.
Well, then maybe we could just insert the name.
James Petrie, who's, I think, formerly
Fortson
of
teacher.
Dearborn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only one person. Okay, ready to roll?
Yes, so we don't need to pull 19.
Okay. Move that action items numbered 1 through 22, noting that there's a supplement of HR items as recommended in this agenda, with the exception of number 7, be approved.
So moved.
Support. Any discussion? Or we wanted to discuss number 3?
Yeah, I just have a question. I am a very big believer in restorative practices. I think it's an outstanding technique. And I noticed that Etzel is going to be training on that. Will the training that that group of staff members get, can they then train others in the district with what they've learned?
Yes, Stout and several others are doing that.
Okay, and from that training, I guess I would like to have a report on where we are, because I know that we've talked about it in the past, where we are and where we hope to be in the future on
What
restorative
about a
practices.
presentation at a board meeting?
Yep.
Yeah, please.
Yep.
I did talk to someone from Stout, and they're doing some amazing things.
That's-
And I hear they have some statistics to show what they're doing, too. So
Yep.
Wonderful.
they might
I'd
be
like to
able to
see
do a
that.
presentation even.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan. Any other discussion? Any dissension? Please attach unanimous affirmative vote. You want to do the summary first? and
Yep,
then-
summary of agenda action items are, number 1, approval of warrants, which are items for payment by the district. I'm sorry, I gotta go find mint. Right at my tongue. which are items for payment by the district and have been reviewed by the administration. Number 2, approval of line of credit. Number 3, approval of restorative practices staff professional learning at Edsel Ford High School. Number 4, approval of carpet cleaning. Number 5, approval of TeachScape software. Number 6, approval of milk and dairy products. Number 8, approval of drop-off lane at Howard School. Number 9, approval of shredded wood for playgrounds. Number 10, approval of miscellaneous construction, fire alarm systems, and signage. Number 11, approval of change orders. Number 12 to 14, approval of non-instructional and instructional personnel items for P12. Number 15, approval of financial statement. Number 16, approval of school of choice resolution. Number 17, approval of support of 2015-2016 Wayne Risa budget. Number 18, approval of cooperative agreement with Wayne Westland Community Schools. Number 19, approval of nominated Wayne Risa election representative and candidate. Number 20, approval of high school student to graduate. Number 21, approval of donations. Number 22, orders and purchases for media services.
Yes.
I will volunteer to be the representative.
Thank you.
Here.
I was just going to go back to number 19, and I don't know that we necessarily have to re-roll call that vote. It asks for a...
Nobody else is volunteering, I don't see.
Yeah, it asks for a representative.
And I'll try not to get hurt or sick.
Yeah,
between
because
now
I
and
asked
then.
for an alternate. I'll be the alternate for you.
Excellent. Thank you
I think
both.
that's on a Monday.
It's on a Monday.
Yeah. I appreciate your volunteerism, both of you. Thank
Can
you
we
so
phone
much.
it in?
I was hoping, but no.
Okay, can we return to number 7, and would you mind reading the recommendation blank?
Blank recommendation? Yes. Okay. So number 7 is orders and purchases. And the recommended action is recommend that an award be made to one of the environmental services in the amount of
$93,500. Oh,
or
yes,
$96,199 for
Correct.
the garbage waste removal contract in accordance with seal bid 1129. Or that will be changed.
Yeah, I wanted this to be pulled, and we can reread it. I just wanted to have a discussion briefly. Normally, in a situation where we bid, we typically go with the lowest bidder. However, this is one of those brief exceptions where the difference between number 1 and number 2 is very small. It's around 2% of the entire bid, and the second highest bidder is who we currently have. And I think that from my perspective as a board member, the pain that goes through, that we would go through to change these service providers, seeing as that how we didn't bid this out because of bad service, we bid it out as part of our normal process. We're not required to take the lowest bidder, and it's a judgment call by the board, and since the amount is so minute, I believe that it's not worth going through the pain of the transition and changing, so I would like to recommend Waste Management at $96,199 as our waste management removal company. If I could get a second.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Certainly.
I understand what you're saying. I just want to make sure that there really is a transitional issue.
There is the transitional issue with them having to remove all of the receptacles that we have that are scattered throughout the district. The timing of that.
Is that something that you've been told?
Yes.
Okay.
It's an issue I brought up.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
what I hadn't heard that.
I mean, that in itself.
Then I would
just-
have totally agree.
Yeah, just the process of having to remove those containers and have the new ones placed. I mean, even if there's as little as a 2-day lag between the two happening, that in itself could cause a lot of turmoil. If we were having problems with the supplier, if we were having other issues, I don't mind going through that pain. But we haven't had any service issues. We haven't had any user complaints. And so because of that, the difference is so minor that I think that it's worth staying with.
My only concern and the danger with that is that next time around when you bid, they probably aren't going to bid Rizzo or whoever the low bidder might be at that time. But I understand
Yeah.
our ability to do that. We have to look at everything,
Yeah.
including costs. The only downside is that, does it put you in a position where next time around they're going to say, well, don't
And I
bother
agree.
bidding
Yeah.
because
I
Waste
completely
Management's
agree
got the
with you on
contract.
that. Yeah.
So, and that's neither here nor there at this point. So I would agree with your decision.
Maybe we should note that it's a difference of $2,600, and I know for me, Superintendent Whiston raised the issue of unattended garbage for some period of time.
Between the transition.
During the transition, and that could come over the summer, which would not be
during the warm weather months.
Optimal, yeah. So.
And like I said, normally 99.9% of the time, the difference between bid number 1 and bid number 2 is not this close. It's an unusual situation, and if we had any service issues, I'm willing to go through the pain, if we aren't getting the proper service. But I just don't think that it's a large enough discrepancy to warrant that. So.
Thank you.
Trustee Lane.
Superintendent Whiston, since we're talking trash, can we also find out, we discussed also the city assisting us with some recycling bins?
Yep, actually tomorrow we're going out to bid on recycling to give us some options, but we are also going to be working with the city, and the mayor said it's a done deal. I know that several board members had talked to him, but so what we're going to do is, as a resident, we have those big tubs, the recycling tubs. And so we're going to get, he's going to allow us to purchase a certain number of those for each of the schools. And then our school junior commissioners who work with the city and us on recycling will be responsible for working on recycling in the schools. And we'll, have signs about what can be put in the recycling bins. And we'll be encouraging not only the school, but parents and students to be working on that. So that we're definitely going to do. We're also going to go out for bid just on recycling in general to see what options are out there.
And will that include perhaps someday soon elimination of styrofoam?
Yeah, remember,
well,
remember, we did tell you we're moving into the cardboard trays. We are moving.
Okay, good,
In
great.
board briefs, we
so
mentioned
glad to hear that.
For about, if I
Those
remember
are
right,
recyclable.
$4,000 more a year, we're going to go to the cardboard.
All right.
It is cardboard, isn't it? Cardboard trays?
It's called Envirofoam.
Okay, Envirofoam. They look like cardboard to me. Envirofoam food service trays for our lunchrooms, and those are recyclable items that we'll be able to recycle.
Fantastic, thank you. It's been a dream for a long time.
I know.
So
I got certain things I got to get done.
maybe we can cut down the 34 million copies too someday.
Maybe. So if there's no more discussion, any dissension, please attach unanimous affirmative vote. And thank you. Next item.
Discussion item?
None.
None.
Next item, sorry.
Acknowledgement of correspondence?
I did receive an email, and I think that the entire board did, and normally we wouldn't mention the names of teachers, but it was a very heartfelt message that was sent from a parent, and I think that it was worthy of noting. It was regarding a teacher at Snow Elementary, Miss Steets. I hope that I'm pronouncing Stetz. I was going to say, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. There was a parent who took the time to let us know. Usually parents take the time to let us know when they're not happy about something, so I thought it was worth mentioning that this parent saw her as a godsend. So I want to personally thank her and also thank the parent for taking the time to write the letter. I'm sure that the teacher appreciates it just as much.
Well, then on that note, maybe I could mention that last week was Teacher Appreciation Week, and I know the superintendent and lots of people thanked the teachers for the work they do every day. I had some news over the last couple of weeks, maybe the last week even, that caused me to reflect with concern. I do appreciate the teachers, and I know all of us could give a testimonial in 1 second. We could be up at the podium talking about our favorite teachers and how teachers have changed people's lives, but I was concerned because I've recently talked to 2 new teachers who are leaving the profession. One has only been teaching a year, one's been teaching 3 years, and they're both very good teachers, but they just do not like the stress of teaching. So we're forecasted to have teacher shortages in the future. And I think it's something that we all have to keep an eye toward. We know that we'll have shortages possibly of administrators and teachers, and it's so important to all of us. We have to appreciate what we have, and we have to bring that to the attention of legislators and other people who are making decisions. So it was teacher appreciation. So my thanks to the teachers, and then my caution to the community that we need to appreciate our teachers, but not just our teachers, all of our school staff, and even our parent volunteers. They do a lot, and they do a lot of things that aren't noticed. I was at Stout last week. There were a couple of people who were cleaning up the courtyard there, some of them on their own time, that just go in and clean it up because it'll look nice for a concert or it'll look nice for 8th grade promotion. And you can't buy that kind of work, that kind of devotion for money. It's a labor of love, and we benefit, all of us benefit greatly from it. So can I thank Al and Diane and Rashid and give a shout out to them? They were so good with what they're doing. But there's so many parents across the district who are doing this, especially this time of year, for graduation, for everything to look great, and it does look great. And I can't wait to be at graduations. It'll be awesome.
Trustee McDonald.
I just want to give commendations to Stout again, and the parents and the students and everyone that was involved in their production of Schoolhouse Rock Jr. It was fantastic. It was really well done. We enjoyed it thoroughly. I took some of my nieces and had a great time. They did a wonderful job.
Excellent.
Was that
next
board
time?
Member commentary?
Yeah, we always mix and match everything, so that's
well, when the groove gets good, you got to just stay with it. Yeah. If you want, we could do it again.
Next item.
Board of Education business, board member committee and organization reports.
We had 2 committee meetings today. Who wants to go
Am I
first?
the chair? I don't even know.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Yes,
I don't have
you
a recording
are.
secretary
It's
anymore.
you.
Well, this one I paid attention to.
You always pay attention.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. We did have a building and site meeting prior to this board meeting, and there were just a couple quick things we discussed. The major topic of discussion was this building, and we've done a little bit of research as to what it would take to either stay here, rebuild on this site, or move to another site. And one thing that there's bricks and mortar cost, but there's also significant infrastructure and technology costs associated with leaving this facility. And the numbers are staggering. We can certainly share those directly with the other board members. But it's really a major investment to move from this facility to another facility, or to actually raise this one and build something new that's a little more. We do sacrifice some efficiency of use of this building. I think right now we're operating at 61% efficiency in this building, which is pretty low. Typically you like to be right around 70% efficient. But because it was a school building, that's inherent with, with that situation. And then there's some efficiencies of operation, obviously with a building that's spread out and has more or less antiquated mechanical systems. We do suffer from some inefficiencies of operation as well. So there is some alternatives that we need to discuss, and if we put an investment into this building, it will be, substantially good for the next foreseeable future, maybe 10 to 15 to 20 years. So it's not falling down, it's not crumbling, it's just a converted school building, which, inherently is a problem. So the other thing we talked about very quickly, Jeff just mentioned our current situation with our contingency fund on our bond issue. And initially we had about a $5 million contingency. We still have, I think the number was around 3.8 million, so we've done very, very well in terms of our bond programs in cost overruns and change orders and things like that.
And we're about 98% bid out.
And we're about 98% bid out. So I think under the terms of the bond, if there's some money left over, we can put it to some other uses that...
Like use that was...
Like uses. So there should be a fair amount of funds available to do some extra things that will add value to the bond overall. I think, did I miss anything? Is that,
No.
Okay.
That's it.
You know, I think it's important because I've spoken with other people in other government boards, and when they say to me that, oh, building projects always come in over budget and it's always more than you expect, and I think that our district has done very well, and I'm not at all taking any of the credit for it because it's obviously you guys that are crunching the numbers and making sure that things are done properly. The district has been very diligent about staying within budget and not overspending and not bringing forward, you know, change orders that push us over the edge. And I think that's important. And I think that sometimes in the general public, they just assume that we're a government body and we're just going to spend and, you know, make changes and keep spending. And I think that this board has worked well with our partners and especially with the administration to make sure that that doesn't happen. And kudos to you guys because you're doing an excellent job of making sure that things stay on time and on track. And it's great driving through the district and seeing all the buildings and the expansions, and they're really, really coming together right now.
It's very exciting.
And the roof on William Ford will be filled in. It's not
Looks like it's two separate, but it won't be.
I know. I love driving home and seeing how much further they've gotten on the brick on Henry Ford. It's amazing how quickly, because I never see them actually working on the brick.
It's just
because when I drive by, they haven't either started for the day or they've ended by the time I get there. But it's like it's halfway done, and then all of a sudden it's almost all the way to the top. So it's been quite a trip for me to see that come together, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, I'd like to compliment Jeff Burrick and his team and the construction
they've done
managers.
an excellent job.
I think there's a mentality that they have there that they make decisions based on if they were actually paying the money out of their own pocket.
Yeah.
And you can't really go wrong with that. Sometimes there's a tendency when you're working with taxpayer money or somebody else's money, you don't have the same thought process. But I think we do that very well.
And they did
in
an
this-
excellent
in this
job of
district.
bidding it out and making sure they accounted for everything before we went out to bid. You know, I see a lot of other government entities that say one thing and then they decide they're going to upgrade it, and so the cost doubles. And I think that they really anticipated what our needs were going to be before we went to the taxpayers, and I applaud them for that because it's not an easy task. This is a very large district. And there's a lot of different projects going on with all kinds of moving parts, so it is an enormous task, and
I think
they make
Jeff-
it seem so easy.
Jeff Burrick should be fixing our roads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, Jeff,
absolutely.
get on that.
That's your next task.
Well, I think
You know, that's an excellent idea. I think that I think we should look into that.
No, we don't.
Well, actually, Jeff is retired.
He keeps saying he's retired. Yeah. But that's
But,
what.
I think initially that was the team, Jeff and the construction managers in two different architectural firms that we had hired. So there's a lot of
And Clark
coordination that
Construction.
has to go on with that whole group, and I think they've done a tremendous job. So.
Yeah, we get to stand up here and take the credit for it, but honestly, you guys make us look really good. So
And Sam. Sam
we
keeps them
appreciate
in
it.
line.
Absolutely.
Sam holds the purse strings.
Very tightly.
So.
Our motto from the beginning is promises we've made to the taxpayers and keeping those promises and to come in as close to budget as possible. And you know that whenever you do a project at home, sometimes there's minor cost overruns, but we're going to be within 1% or 2% and we're all done, and that's just
Well, and not changing the scope is really
Right.
a huge impact on that.
And I think it helps too that we've had a history of experience with construction in our community as well with these schools. So, I think we've learned a lot over the years and
I
have
think
really
Jeff
figured out
learned
how
well
to do it right.
From Jerry Uchtdorf.
Jerry
too.
Uchtdorf.
His
Yeah.
predecessor. Right, Jeff?
I don't
Jerry
think that
started.
there's, I'm like one of my 15th year, and I don't think that we've ever had a construction project that went over budget. And we've had quite a few construction projects.
Yeah, even
Hundreds
on
of
the last
millions
one,
of
the big one,
dollars.
we were able to put some dollars back into
Yeah.
some things that we wanted to do but weren't in the original work scope. So,
Yeah.
so that's great.
Good job. Thank you. We had a policy committee meeting. Would either one of you ladies like to summarize?
Oh, you can.
See?
Thanks, Joe.
You just passed it.
Actually, it was a quick meeting. We, I think it was last year or the year before, we had changed the credit requirements to meet requirements for freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior status in our high schools. And we've learned a lot along the way, and we've made some adjustments to those, and we will communicate. We've communicated those with students. We're going to continue to communicate with parents, but it has to do with, typical, the way that most people remember high school is that your first year you're a freshman, your second year you're a sophomore, and we have changed it so that it's based on how many credits you've achieved. And I think that it's important so that students know where they stand. They know that credits are important, not just surviving the year, not just showing up, but actually producing valid results. And so we've made some adjustments to that model and included the freshman year, because I believe in the past it was just sophomore, junior, and senior. And so now we've put a number to freshman year as well. And so those will be communicated. It's also on our website. And that was really we also did have an exception for a student that was part of our consent agenda, which is standard this time of the year when students are getting close to graduating. And I think that was it, unless I've forgotten something. That was it.
That's it.
Excellent. Next item.
Board member commentary.
I already.
Trustee Petlish.
I waited for the commentary section. I knew this was a correspondence.
I think there's a cookie back there, unless we ate them all.
Yeah, we probably ate them.
I just wanted to add to what's going on in our schools right now, because we have had several alternate programs at the schools, and they've been this is a partnership between the city with the City Beautiful Commission, of which I chair the school committee, and our schools that we've done every year, and everybody is familiar with the cleanup parades, which we will be having one tomorrow at Salina. I say it's the longest cleanup parade in the city because when we do the K through 8 at that school for cleanup parade, so we're meeting the students. It's like a snake biting its tail. By the time the ones are leaving, the other ones are returning back on the parade route because there's so many students involved. That being said, we don't have a cleanup parade every year at every school anymore due to costs, the cost factor of producing the parades. So we've given alternate program ideas to the schools so that we can keep connected with the students and their neighborhoods and their environment. This year we had a wonderful science fair at McCullough Eunice. The kids were all very enthusiastic, and they also are a STEM program-based school, and they had a lot of good quality evaluations of their community. They did soil sampling and all different kinds of things for their science fair projects. Every school is allowed to do something unique to their school, so they usually do something different at every building, but we're enjoying, they do plantings, they do little mini parades, but they all continue to invest in their neighborhoods in some fashion. So we have another week of this at least, so I encourage anybody who's around at 1:30 at any of our schools this week. We have several parades. So if you like the marching part of it, that's what's going to happen this week. So they all enjoy it, and I thank them all because the schools, the teachers, the students all put a lot of extra effort into something that's voluntary.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time and chairing that committee and being a part of it, because that's encouraging to students when they see adults modeling it. So.
Well, and it's an important message for the whole neighborhood to be responsible for how our community looks. So,
well, thank you for serving.
Mary, how long have you been doing that?
The CBU since about 11 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
11, 12 years, yeah. Yeah, I've been chair of the school committee, except for the 2 years I was chair of the whole committee. Yeah, all this time.
Well, good for you.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
It is. The school committee is the one nobody else wants to chair. I actually got Darlene Schoolmaster to chair it while I was doing the chairing the whole committee. So there's only a couple of us once. It's a lot of work for that particular one.
We appreciate it.
But a good cause. So
yeah. We hope it has a good educational component to it.
Anyone else? Next item.
Requests for information and/or future agenda items.
I think you have a couple already.
Got a couple on my list.
Next item.
Superintendent's reports, proposed 2015-2016 Board of Education meetings, Board Report 14-134.
So you have the proposed schedule. It follows the same pattern that we've used the last couple of years, so no changes or surprises there. So we'll be moving forward with that recommendation. The next one deals with membership in our athletics associations, which is a normal thing we have to do each year.
Personal commentary.
2 items. This is my favorite time of the year for a lot of reasons, because we're heading into the celebration of teachers and students and all of our staffs. But certainly we had Superintendent's Night, where we had students who have a 3.6 GPA or higher for their whole 4-year high school career get to select a teacher that has, not necessarily a teacher, but a school employee who has made a difference in their educational life. And it is just so rewarding to sit there and listen to what students have to say about kindergarten teachers all the way up through 12th grade, coaches, teachers. We've had lunchroom ladies, we've had the counselors, we've had administrators. And it's just really a wonderful evening of celebration of the good things and the difference that is happening in these students' lives because of our staff. So it's an exciting night, and I wish that teachers who want to be teachers, prospective teachers, could see that, because it is rewarding to be a teacher and to be successful. And as you mentioned, Teacher Appreciation Week, we did send out a letter to all of our teachers thanking them for the great job they do and the difference they make. So we do want to honor teachers as we celebrate the Teachers Appreciation Week. And that's all my comments, no other.
Well, we have, go ahead.
Can I ask one question? Just going back to the second one.
Yep.
The MHSAA.
Yep.
A while back, there was a couple districts that were not included in something in the
Western
league.
Wayne Conference.
Yeah, that was in our Western Wayne Conference, but that school district no longer exists.
Okay, so that's all been resolved. Okay, I never heard anything more about that.
Yeah, they folded into our league for, I want to say, a year or two, and then the district was dissolved. So.
Okay.
But yeah, it all worked out very amicably.
We do have something at our desk that I was thinking about just ripping in half.
Yeah, I wondered if...
See that?
It's only 7 years, though. It doesn't need to be talked about. We only do over 20.
You know, but I really think that it was a very heartfelt message in here, and it's a pity that only we get to see it.
You could release it.
Or you could read it. No, I won't put that pressure.
I would like to make some comments maybe at the June or July meeting, but, you know.
But officially, we've had to begrudgingly accept the resignation of the superintendent. But we only have a month or so left to razz you about it, so I thought I would jump on it.
It doesn't mean, though, that we won't have future agenda items for him at a different level.
Yes, we will.
That's right.
Oh, am I? I'm the only one that has it? The rest of the board didn't?
No. Yeah, I think just you got it, so we can share it with everybody.
Yeah, I think it was very eloquently put, and
well, I wouldn't submit it, except HR kept coming down to my office every hour insisting that I file it. I don't know why they want to get rid of me, but after about 2 weeks of saying, yeah, I'll get to it, they forced me to write it.
Well,
So.
I will have Dawn copy it and email it to the rest of the board, and maybe we'll force you to read it at the next meeting.
I could do that.
But I couldn't help myself. Sorry.
I appreciate it. No, it's very nice.
You got to deal with it.
I know.
That's the way it is.
Play a little while.
That's right.
Next item.
No, I'm getting his cell phone. He's going to be dealing with it for a long time.
Future meeting dates. Monday, May 18th, 2015. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. I won't be available at that meeting, so I just want to let you remind you of that.
Monday.
Next Monday, I will be out of town. Future meeting dates, Monday, May 18th, 2015, HFC meeting, 7 p.m. at the Andrew Mazzara Services and Conference Center in the Rosenau Boardroom, Henry Ford College. Monday, June 8th, 2015, P12 Board of Education meeting, 7 o'clock p.m. at the Administrative Service Center in the Frank Franchi Boardroom. Monday, June 22nd, 2015, P12 Board of Education meeting, 7 p.m. at the Administrative Service Center in the Frank Franchi Boardroom.
Do we not have an HFC meeting?
Yeah, you do. I don't know why it's not listed.
Okay.
But you do. I don't know the date.
I think
It
it's
should be
the
the
week before
15th.
the 22nd, so
Yeah,
the
so it'd be the
15th.
15th.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Okay.
15th.
Monday,
Excellent.
June 15th.
We're adjourned.